Hello students, I am Sunita Pawar, lecturer of ENC department, HAP and Trust Polytechnic, Nirsoshi. Today we will see the sixth unit of data communication and networking, that is internet devices and protocols. In this first we will see the universal service. An important concept of connecting many computer networks together is called as internetworking. When multiple computer networks are connected to each other is called an internet work or an internet. The main reason for having an internet is that such computer networks is designed for with a specific task. For example, a LAN is typically used to connect computers are in smaller area and it provides a fast communication between these computers. On the other hand, WAN technologies are used for communication over long distance. As a result, networks becomes specialized entities. In many cases, these networks do not use the same technology in terms of the hardware or communication protocols. Now we'll see the router facility interconnection between the one or more networks or functions of routers. Routers is a special purpose computer that can be connected multiple computer networks. A router operates at the physical and data link layer and network layer of the OSI model. A router is termed as an intelligent device. A router is useful for interconnecting two or more networks. These networks can be heterogeneous, which means that they can differ in their physical characteristics, such as frame sizes, transmission rate, topologies, and addressing, etc. The concept of router is shown in below figure. There is a token ring network and the Ethernet network based on bus architecture. A router connects to the token ring at the point X and to the Ethernet network at the point Y. Since the same router connects to the two networks at the points, it means that this router must have two NICs. So as shown in a figure, that is a X point and a Y point. So at the token ring side there is a X point is there and a bus network that is a Ethernet network, that is a Y point is there. So using these points router will be connected to networks. Now we will do the explanation of the bridge and their functions. A bridge is a computer that has its own processor, memory and two NIC cards to connect two portion of a network. It operates at the physical as well as the data link layer of the OSI protocol hierarchy. So as shown in the diagram, there is a bridge is there and two networks means a part of the two networks are connected to the each other. First part is considered as a segment 1 and another one is a segment 2. The main idea of using bridge is divide a big network into smaller sub-networks called the segments. This is shown in a figure. Here the bridge split the entire network into two segments. The two segments act as a part of the single network because of the bridge. A bridge is more intelligent than the repeaters. The main advantage of the bridge is that it sends the data frames only to the concerned segment, thus preventing excess traffic. Suppose host A want to send a frame to the host D, then the bridge does not allow the frame to enter the lower segment, even if both segments of R belongs to the same network. Instead, the frame is directly relayed to host D. This is shown in figure only. The main function of the bridges are as follows. First, unwanted traffic is minimized. Second, busy links or links in error can be identified and isolated. Third, security features or access controls can be implemented. Now we'll see the working of the repeaters. A repeaters, also called as a regenerator, is an electronic device that simply regenerates signals. It works at the physical layer of the OSI protocol. Signals traveling across a physical wire some distance before the become weak or to get corrupted as other signals maybe noise interfere. A repeater receives such signals which is likely to have become weak or corrupted, and those signals is regenerates. For instance, let us assume that 5 represent 1 and 0 represent 0. If a signal becomes weak and the voltage becomes of 4.5 volt, the repeater has the intelligence to realize that is still bit 1, and therefore it can regenerate the bit that is 5 volt. Note that the repeaters does not in any change the data has being transmitted are characteristics of a network. The only responsibility of a repeater is to take stream of bit in the form of signals, regenerate it so that the signal is accurate now, and send it forward. That is the working of the repeaters. Now we'll see the working of gateways. Gateways operates at all 7 layers of OSI model. The router can be forwarded packets across different network types, example Ethernet, token ring, FDDI, etc. However, all these dissimilar networks must use a common transmission protocol for the communication. If they are not using same protocol, the router would not be able to forward packets from one network to another network. On the other hand, the gateway can be forward packets across different networks that may also use different protocols. The gateway is a very powerful computer as compared to the bridge or routers. Now we'll see the comparison between SLIP and PPP. First, SLIP. It stands for Serial Line Internet Protocol. PPP stands for Point-to-Point Protocol. SLIP does not perform error detection and correction. PPP performs error detection and correction. It supports only IP. PPP, it supports multiple protocols. IP address is assigned statically in SLIP. IP address is assigned dynamically. In SLIP does not provide any authentication. PPP provides authentication. SLIP does not approve internet standards. PPP, it approved internet standards. SLIP, it does not have any addressing mechanism. PPP have addressing mechanism. Now we will see the explanation of a firewall. Firewall are computer security system that protect your PC or your network. The firewall is inserted between the internet and LAN for security purpose. A firewall may filter all incoming packets destined for specific host or a specific server such as HTTP. A firewall is usually classified as packet filter firewall and a proxy firewall. In packet filter firewall, it can forward or block packets based on the information in the network layer and transport layer headers. In proxy firewall, it runs the server process to receive the request. The server open a packet at the application level and find out if the request is leg- legitimate, as the forward diagram has shown in a below figure only. Now we will see the different threats to the computers. First one is the insider attack. According to the survey, more than 70% attacks are insider. Insider attacks are divided into two categories. First, intentionally, and another one is the accidentally. Second, active attack. In this attack, the adversary does not wait for any sensitive or authentication information. He actively tries to break or bypass the security system. Third, hijack attack. This attack usually takes place between running sessions. The hackers join running session and silent disconnect their party. Fourth, password attack. In this attack, the adversary tries to log in with a guessed password. Two popular methods for this attack are brute force attack and dictionary attack. So these are the different threats are used in the computer hacking. So this one you are getting for the 5 marks. Now we will see the dial-up internet access method. Home users generally want to connect to the internet directly. The term direct is used here to mean that they want to connect to the internet through an internet service provider, that is a ISP. Here the serial node mode of data transmission is used. The client computer connects to one of the server at the ISP through serial telephone line using the modem. Initially, the client has to log on to the ISP server using the user ID and password provided. Once the identification is over, the client can connect to the internet through the ISP server. Here, the communication between the client and the ISP takes place using two data link layer protocols. The point-to-point protocol, that is a PPP, and a serial line internet protocol, that is a SLIP. These two protocols allow a home user to dial into ISP over the physical telephone line by performing data link layer functions. Now we will see the different modes of classification of modems. There are basic two modes of modem operations. First, simplex. In simplex mode, the communication is unidirectional. Example, radio and TV. Duplex. Some names of the provider for the data transfer in both direction. This mode is known as a duplex. Duplex can be further classified as follows. First, half duplex. In the half duplex mode, both devices can transmit data but not at the same time. When one device is sending data, the other must only receive the data and vice versa. Example of a half duplex communication is a conversion over the walkie-talkie. Full duplex. In full duplex communication, both the devices can be transmit data at the same time. It means that both devices are capable of sending as well as receiving data at the same time. It is similar to the telephone conversation. Types of the modems. First, external modem, internal modem, optical modem, short haul modem, long haul modem, voice modem, and cable modem. These are the types of the modems. Now we will see the explanation about DLS functions. DLS means a digital subscriber line. For using DSL services, user or an internet customer needs to have DSL modem. When the customer connects to a normal telephone line with the help of a DSL modem rather than the standard modems, the telephone line is called a digital subscriber line. The PSI modem is the sense that it does not convert digital signal into the analog signal, and like normal modem, instead the signal originating from the customers and travels via the DSL modems. As the digital signals through the telephone line, the available range of frequencies on the normal telephone lines is divided into different slots and then used to send digital signals using frequency modulation technique. There are two standards for a DSL: carrierless amplitude phase and discrete modulation, discrete multi-tone. To use DSL technology, a unit similar to the normal modem is required at the customer end. This unit is called a DSL modem or DSL transceiver. At the telephone company's end, we have DSL access multiplexer. So these are the number of the questions you are getting from the 6th chapter.